Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mari Carmen Godinez Victoria, and today I'm pleased to present the work entitled Benefits of Moderate Intensity Aerobic Exercise on the Intestinal Barrier. This study was done in the Higher School of Medicine of the National Polytechnic Institute in collaboration with the Metropolitan Autonomous University of Mexico. As life expectancy increases worldwide, maintaining health and the quality of life in adult adults has become a growing public health priority. Aging is associated with numerous changes in gastrointestinal physiology, including alteration in the intestinal barrier, structure, and function. In adult adults, the most frequent gastrointestinal diseases include constipation, medication, gastropathy, irritable bowel, inflammatory bowel disease, and malignant tumor. Importantly, these conditions often involve or are exacerbated by alteration in the intestinal barrier, leading to increased intestinal permeability, inflammation, dysbiosis, and impaired nutrient absorption. The intestinal barrier is composed of three connected levels. Physical barrier. This level physically separates luminal content from underlying tissue. On their components is the mucus layer, which is produced mainly by goblet cells. The mucus contains mucins, vein mucin 2, the primary gel-forming mucin in the small intestine. Furthermore, the mucus layer acts as the first line of defense, trapping microbes and preventing their direct contact with the epithelium. Other components of the intestinal barrier are the intestinal epithelial cells and tangential proteins. Tangential proteins seal the intercellular space at the apical region of epithelial cells. The second barrier is formed by biochemical compounds, which protects the mucus through antimicrobial molecules and enzymes. On the most important component is the IgA. IgA coats bacteria, preventing adherence and translocation, and neutralizes pathogens and antigens. Finally, the immune barrier is composed of immune cells and organized lymph structures that produce cytokines and chemokines. These modulate inflammation and tolerance and regulate digestion and mucin production. Disruption of this barrier is associated not only with gastrointestinal disease, but also with systemic inflammation and age-related chronic disease such as metabolic syndromes and neurodegeneration. Intestinal permeability refers to the functional property of the intestinal mucosa that allows for the selective passage of water, nutrients, electrolytes, and small molecules from the intestinal lumen into the bloodstream, while preventing the translocation of harmful substances such as pathogen, toxin, and antigens. This process is highly regulated and release on the integrity of the intestinal epithelial cell layer, the structural and function tangential proteins, the presence of protective elements like the mucus layer and immune defense. In addition, it's important highlight that the tangential proteins are differentially expressed through the small intestine, as can you see in this table. When this balance is disrupted, a phenomenon known as leaky gut occurs, allowing increased passage of potentially harmful luminal contents into the internal environment, promoting local and systemic inflammation. Several experimental studies have examined the effects of different types and intensities of physical exercise on intestinal barrier components in both animal models and humans. Pro-inflammatory T cytokines such as tumor necrosis factor, interferon gamma, and interleukin 6 increase with aging in both the small intestine and colon, contributing to gastrointestinal inflammation. Moderate aerobic exercise improves mucosa immunity by increased intestinal IgA and PIGR expression, enhancing protection against bacterial invasion. Exercise with Simming protocol modulates mucin production such as mucin 1 or mucin 2, contributing to mucosal defense. In age matched, moderate treadmill exercise increases barrier-forming tight junction proteins such as claudin 1, occludin, sonaloccludin 1, improving epithelial barrier function. Long-term exercise decrease permeability-associated proteins such as claudin 2, while increase claudin 4, claudin 7, and occludin in the colon, promoting tighter epithelial barrier. In contrast, high-intensity exercise increase inflammatory T cytokines and reduce barrier proteins, such as claudin 1, eccarin, thus worsening intestinal permeability. In human, intense combined heat and exercise stress increase IFABP and alters claudin 3, indicating that enterocytes damage. In summary, the evidence suggests that moderate aerobic exercise strengthens the intestinal barrier by promoting digestion integrity and mucosal immunity and reducing inflammation. In contrast, high intensity or prolonged strenuous exercise may increase permeability and promote intestinal damage. This highlights the importance of exercise intensity and duration in preserving good health. Given this context, our objective was to determine the effects of long-term moderate aerobic exercise on the structure and biochemical components of the intestinal barrier in the proximal and distal region of the small intestine of senile mice. Specifically, we evaluate total IgA and IgA cobalt bacteria in fluid intestinal fluid, total mucopolysaccharides in mucus, digestion proteins and gel-forming mucin in mucosa, and pro-inflammatory and anti-inflammatory cytokines in serum. For experimental design, we use 20 mice aged 2 months at the beginning of the study, dividing into exercise and sedentary groups. Before beginning the protocol, the exercise group was adapted during 2 weeks with increments of time and velocity of the exercise, and after that underwent aerobic moderate exercise from 3 months to 12 months. This protocol consists of running at a speed of 10 to 12 miles per minute at a rate of 30 minutes for 5 days a week. After this protocol, animals were sacrificed to obtain the serum by intracardiac puncture to determine concentration of pro-inflammatory and anti-inflammatory cytokines by CBA. In addition, the small intestine was obtained and divided into equal segments to analyze the regionalization of the effect of the moderate aerobic exercise to determine total IgA by ELISA assay, IgA cobalt bacteria by flow cytometry, total mucopolysaccharides by colorimetric method, and protein expression of tight junction and mucin by Western blot. As I mentioned before, IgA is the most important antibody present in the intestinal mucosa. IgA plays an important role in neutralizing pathogens, microorganisms, toxins, and non-pathogenic antigens when they are in the mucus. But IgA also contributes to a specific response against pathogens. In our results, we observed that the total intestinal IgA concentration was increased in proximal intestinal region in the group versus control group, which has been reported versus in the control group. However, we observed a decrease in the IgA concentration in distal region in the moderate aerobic exercise group versus control group, which has been reported in other studies too. IgA colitis bacteria play an important role in immune exclusion, favoring the adherence to the mucus layer and the host microbe symbiosis. Additionally, the IgA bacteria complex participate in immune exclusion to eliminate pathogens, among other important functions, as can be seen in this figure. In medical practice, IgA bacteria complex has been associated with the development and progression of several diseases. In the current study, we observed that a decreased percentage of the IgA bacteria complex in the moderate exercise group versus control group only in distal region. This can be explained because the microbial load is less in the proximal region of the small intestine than in the distal region, indicating enhanced mucosal immunity. Above the bacteria population resident in the small intestine, we observe that colony-forming units of Lactobacillus, Bifidobacterium, and aerobic bacteria were significantly increased in exercise group versus sedentary group, only in the proximal region. Bacteria, regarding the total mucopolysaccharide content in the intestinal mucus, we observe an increase in exercise mice versus control mice in both intestinal regions. About the gel-forming mucins, mucin 2 is one of the most important components of the intestinal mucus in the small intestine and colon. It increases a physical viscous layer that lines the intestinal surface, separating commensal and pathogenic bacteria from the epithelial mucosa. Mucin 5AC is predominantly expressed in the stomach, but atypically expression in the small intestine is associated with pathological conditions. In a clinical context, a decrease in mucin 2 expression and increase in mucin 5AC expression or its alteration in structure and secretion are associated to inflammation and tissue damage, as well as ulcerative colitis, chronic disease, and colorectal cancer. Regarding our results, exercise modulates mucin expression with regulate mucin 2 and control left mucin 5AC levels, contributing to tissue protection in proximal region, while only an increase in mucin 2 expression occurred in the distal region of the small intestine in exercise mice compared to control mice. Let's take a look at TGPs. Exercise reduced Claudin 2 and increased Claudin 7, which correlate with decreased permeability in the proximal intestine region in exercise mice compared to control mice. On the other hand, exercise increased the Claudin 7 and occludin expression in the distal small intestine in exercise mice compared to control mice. Additionally, exercise reduces pro-inflammatory T cytokines such as tumor necrosis factor and interleukin-17, while promoting anti-inflammatory T mediator as interleukin-4 and interleukin-10 compared to control mice. In conclusion, our findings suggest that long-term moderate aerobic exercise promotes the regulation of components that are essential for maintaining the integrity of the intestinal barrier. In contrast, exercise has a different effect on each intestinal segment. These findings reinforce the idea that moderate aerobic exercise can counteract the negative effect of aging on the intestinal barrier by enhancing mucosal immunity, preserving mucus layer integrity, and normalizing tight junction protein expression, contributes to good health and potentially to prevention of chronic disease associated with age. I would like to thank my collaborator, Joab Eli Aguilar Gonzalez, Fabiola Guzman Mejia, and Maria Elisa Drago Serrano, who contributed significantly to development of this study. Thank you very much for your attention, and I will be happy to take any questions.